Hey Scorpio, it's Amber here at Persephone's Journey Tarot. I hope that you're very well. This is a general reading for 2020. So this is mainly if you have your moon, sun, or ascendant in Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio, or possibly if your midhaven is ruled by Scorpio, or you could be any other sign, but your ruling planet is in Scorpio, and it's like, you know. Yeah, then maybe it could also factor in. There could be some messages there for you too that might be really helpful. So yes, this is the Scorpio energy, more to do with like life path rather than relationships, although relationships often do factor into our life path. So it could definitely come out in this reading. What I can see here overall, Scorpio, is there's an influx of children. We've got the Sun card, we've got the Page of Cups, we've got the Page of Swords, we've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got 3 pages. Only page that we don't have is the Page of Wands. And we've also got the Six of Cups as the outcome. So from beginning to end to in the middle, we've got children maybe proving to be a bit of an obstacle. Maybe you're having challenging teenagers that are having their emotional and hormonal ups and downs, and you're having to kind of think on your feet and like you yourself becoming a master of diplomacy and communication here as well this year. Um, yeah, definitely learning new ideas, maybe learning new lingo, learning how to understand your children and what they're going through. Always being the voice of reason as well. Maybe this year might be quite important to be that voice of reason, to be the person that your children maybe can come to for advice as they are maybe growing up. Maybe they're transitioning from primary into secondary school or into middle school, into high school, or going to college or university. Maybe they're finished with all of that and they're about to embark into the world and still need your reasoning, your sound reasoning to help them move forward. I think you're challenged here because the Page of Cups is here. So it's either that you're challenged by distractions, by going out or, going out with friends, things like that. Or it could be that the distraction is, or the challenge is that you're finding it hard to not just give in with your emotions on things, especially with maybe with your kids. Your kids maybe be quite demanding, especially when it comes to money. They may want you to buy them lots of things and, just think that your bank is a bottomless pit of, pleasure for them. So there could be some challenges around that as well, especially with the Six of Pentacles being centrally here, an issue with giving and receiving money, helping people financially, supporting people financially. And essentially giving with regards to your money. So there could be that you're coming in with the King of Swords saying, okay, look, this year I'm not going to be overly emotional. I'm not going to just give in and be, maybe your daughter's always like, oh, Dad, could you get me this and get me that? And it's your only daughter or something. And she's just looking at you in your eyes and it's very hard to say no. So there could be those kind of challenges that you're having to overcome, and you're having to maybe be a bit more detached and objective about the decisions that you make, maybe with regards to your children. If this has not got to do with children, then I would definitely say there's some sort of pastime from your childhood, or something that has got to do with your childhood, or maybe it's to do with who you are as a Scorpio, like your life path. Something to do that lies at the root of you, the very beginnings of you, your childhood or your memories from long ago. Like something from the past that relates to your soul path is going to be playing a significant role this year. I feel this year you're going to be very much, maybe see your path very clearly. Clarity is going to be a big deal this year. You're not going to be wanting to anyone give you any fluff. The Page of Cups can be that, like fluff and lots of nice words and let's just go and have fun and that kind of energy, and let's just have a drink and have some fun and not worry about it. The Page of Cups can be a little bit like that, a bit frivolous and doesn't really do the whole heavy, earthy, swordsy kind of thing. They're more kind of want to have fun. And that could be a challenge. Maybe you're trying to kind of come into this year being less emotional and a bit more detached when it comes to decisions, especially around money or people that depend on you, younger people. This could even be your partner who's just maybe not quite made it yet in their career, and you're having to support them maybe more than you would like to. Or maybe you want to spend your money on other things and instead you're supporting somebody else, and that could be holding you back. And you maybe have decided this year that no, I'm not going to be taken advantage of. The Three of Coins is also here in your past. You're leaving behind that feeling of having to always compromise and work with others. That could maybe have been more of a negative experience in the last year. That's something that you're not wanting to take into 2020. I think with the Sun card here as well, it is talking about this clarity that you now have around when it is a good time. Like you've developed your discernment, your judgment, and now see when it is a good time to give, when the person is deserving, when am I obligated, when am I not. And also being a lot more stricter, maybe if it's your child and they are old enough to work, it'd be a case of, look, you need to just go out and find a job. Or if it's your partner, you could in the same way be saying, I think maybe you should, if you can't find a job in the career or industry that you want, just take on any other job, because these are the sacrifices that I'm making maybe, and I just don't see it adding up really. It doesn't really make sense. Or I don't know how you're going to word it. But the King of Swords sometimes doesn't really be too concerned about how they word it. They just make sure it's polite and as emotionally intelligent as they can, and they say the truth. The truth will set you free. That's probably the King of Swords motto, regardless, of the means. At least you get there in the end. So you could just be more kind of cutthroat about things in that sense. You may want to bring in order as well into your life, some sort of order, rules and structure. Again, education could be a big theme as well this year for you in your life. Maybe it's because of your kids or children, I should say. So yeah, it's looking as if here that your main focus will be about balancing your generosity, I think. And with the Two of Coins, what you can expect is an up and down in your finances. Or maybe, they're being, learning how to sometimes juggle your finances to make sure that everyone gets what they need. So timing may be a really important issue here as well. It may also be saying that you will have opportunities to make money this year, and there will also be opportunities when it will seem that it's a real challenge just to kind of make all your ends meet. It depends, you could be doing very well financially, but it could still be a case of you might have money tied up in things and you don't really have as much to play with as you want, or you may have made certain financial promises or commitments, but maybe there's been new recent additions to your financial obligations that maybe there's been changes there. Like I said, maybe your children are just getting bigger, or you're helping somebody, or maybe you're investing in a project, as well, and it's turning out so that you need to give out more money. But there will be ups and downs with regards to your money. So when the good times come in, you're advised to take full advantage of them if you can. I would say that if you're a Scorpio rising, Jupiter is going to be in Capricorn, I think, for the remainder of this year. So that'll be sextile your sun, which is also, sextile your ascendant or your sun or your moon. But in terms of house placements, it's going to be in your third house. So that's all got to do with communication, close family members, like your inner circle, education, again, often kind of more basic education or foundational education as well. So I don't know if maybe you're being tested this year, or you're going to be studying a lot this year as well. And that's what's making you a lot more kind of rigid about how you spend your time, that you're more serious about your decisions, in terms of where you put your energy. But yeah, it looks like money will be here, I feel, when you need it. Okay, with the Two of Coins, I feel like there is some reassurance here. And there could also be generosity, so you could also be looking for grants and things like that. Maybe to do this new thing that's from your childhood. Maybe you've compromised a lot in work as well, and you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to be a boss now. You know, you want to be a manager or have a higher rank. You maybe want to be in more of a position of power when it comes to your money as well. But yeah, it looks like there will be changes with regards to your finances. The Sun card does suggest that there's positive changes. Also got the Six of Swords in the near future too. So there will be, and the Four of Swords as well. So I do feel that there will be progression this year with regards to maybe your education or finances. And it will be good, positive. There'll be a moving on, there'll be a graduation kind of energy of you moving forward onto bigger and better things. But with the Six of Cups here, I feel that this is tied in somehow to either, again, children or some like pastime that you've loved to do, like from, you know, years ago. Or maybe you're reconnecting with old friends as well this year. That might be quite significant. The Hermit card does talk about going within, seeking that enlightenment from within. Again, cutting back, paring back, Saturn's energy as well. Even though this is a Virgo card, it does talk about being mature, being wise, and not being caught up in the Maya, as they say, or distracted by things that aren't really in line with your goals. Yeah, and then we've got the Four of Cups here as well. So could be saying here that you will be turning down things that aren't going to be beneficial to you. Yeah. And that could be a lot to do with this Three of Cups energy. Could be people that you're leaving behind. You could be seeking more happiness. So the happiness that you found before may not have been satisfying, and then you're kind of moving on from that. You're no longer satisfied with the emotional kind of experiences maybe of 2019, and you very much want to try something new here as well. So kind of leaving some people behind, but taking on new friends or new experiences to an extent, or kind of just blocking out people that don't emotionally satisfy you in any way, and just focusing on what it is that you actually do feel is going to bring you emotional satisfaction, which could be to do with work, or maybe it's someone in particular. Maybe it's a Virgo that you're focused on now. But you will have clarity this year. There's something that you love to do that you're going to be connecting to again. And it could be around with the Page of Pentacles, a real personal skill. Like maybe you sing, or maybe there's something that you do purely with your body or purely with you. Like you don't need a computer to do it necessarily, or maybe you do, but it's come from you. It's the investment that you've put in yourself. It's what you're physically able to do and commit to that I think you're focused on. You're focused, I think, on loving yourself or looking after yourself. Again, bringing balance into how much generosity you can give. or you can afford. Instead, maybe investing this money into yourself. Like I said, there may be other things that you're interested in that you've neglected maybe because of others and people's financial needs, or being obligated to work because you've got children, things like that. So, but this time it looks like you're like, no, I need to draw the line somewhere here. There needs to be balance brought in here somewhere. And I feel like this year will still be a bit of a challenge in that area. There'll be challenges, but I think you'll be fine. And the luck that you have around you, or what could be in your environment, is the Four of Wands. So again, friends, family, I think possibly friends from the past, maybe like, oh, we've been waiting for you to come back to this, your music or whatever it is, music, painting, what you do naturally. Maybe you just got away with people and you help people. Maybe you help young people. Maybe you're a youth coordinator or support worker or something like that. And you may be studying again in those areas to come back to that. But the Four of Wands also talks about there possibly being soulmates around. Really asking you to take note of synchronicities and especially when you see like the number, like double numbers like 1111, 22 or 222, or any numbers that, especially 6, you've got the number 6 here quite a lot here, and also 24, so 11. So you may need to do some research on what those numbers mean, but I feel that they're going to be significant. And this does talk about new beginnings, but I also see this as you returning to something that you love. People are waiting for you to return. If anything, you've got people possibly around you that will support you in your endeavors and what you're doing, are also interested in the same things as well, that will support you more. So there will be maybe less of you supporting everyone else, and we actually will find the support from others. So you may even find that possibly, your children, if they are quite demanding, actually are quite understanding once it's sold to them as it's helping the household. This also talks about engagement, family reunions, and friendships. So, don't know if someone's getting married in your family as well. That could be happening this year. That could be where a lot of your money may be going if it's one of yours getting married. Got the Knight of Pentacles here again for your concerns and your hopes. And the advice would be with the Knight of Pentacles is again to don't spend in haste. Every penny that you spend should be considered an investment in the future, or an investment period. So that's going to be how you maneuver around this money situation. That's basically what the Knight of Pentacles is saying, that have a plan, set your goals, make sure they're clear, and then make sure that you only spend within those parameters or with those priorities. This has got a lot to do with house, home, again, nourishment, food, things like that. So maybe health, maybe advice here to make that, those things a priority when it comes to spending money, whatever. So if it is going to be a holiday, that is justified because everyone needs a break. Maybe you might make that holiday one where you actually learn something, or the kids learn something. Maybe they're learning French or Spanish, or you might take them to a French or Spanish speaking country. or things like that, where it's very practical, and that way you are getting something of everything out of everything that you are putting in, so it's justified. And the Sun card could talk about holidays this year as well. Could be quite enjoyable. It might also be where you get a lot of insights and see things a bit clearly, a bit more clearer. But yeah, the Sun card is very much about you following your heart and listening to what your needs are in terms of your path. Okay. So 6 of Cups, I think this is Sun in Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken. So this is your card here as the outcome. Connecting to your own heart chakra. You might need to do work on your heart chakra with all of these 3 cards. And even this card does talk about a blocked off heart energy, or a blocked kind of heart chakra energy. Yeah, where maybe you've been going in circles in some way with the 8 of Swords in your head. I feel you are going to be getting over that. I think that you've been a little bit tormented by this, to be honest, with the 8 of Swords. And you're being asked here to, work on your heart chakra, where, however you can. That could be, if you know anything about the goddess Oshun, look up her stories. That will very much tell you how to reconnect to your heart space and that self-love energy, pampering yourself, listening to what excites you, what makes you feel motivated, what inspires you, what makes you feel vital and valid, involved, and like you have a place in the world. Is that kind of, the Sun is like where you shine. Being honest with yourself about where it is that you shine, from the inside out. What makes you truly happy? Is it when you are singing? Is it when you are doing whatever it is that you've loved to do all this time since you were a child, maybe, or a younger person, or just maybe in the past? I see you're overcoming through rest, relaxation, and taking a load off, not stressing out so much about things by doing this, by almost giving it up to God in a way with the 4 of Swords, and almost praying about things and trying to get a perspective on things where you're more mindful, okay, of what's going on. So mindfulness as well is also advice for you. In order to reach the 6 of Swords, it's important that you practice mindfulness techniques and remain in the here and now, not worry too much about the past and the future, what could go wrong or what has gone wrong, but just to focus on, on gratitude for where you are now and acknowledging what's happening right now, and getting your mind in that space and coming to terms maybe with some past mistakes, or things that maybe you regret, or it's about acceptance as well, the 4 of Swords, that allows you to move forward. It's almost like recalibrating, in a sense that the soldier comes back from war or from a battle and then kind of takes a break, completely relaxes, and then maybe has epiphanies about, okay, so this is how I'm going to do the next battle. I'm going to approach it from this angle. And the King of Swords is that strategic person that's like, okay, I'm going to do things from this way. I'm going to be clever about it. I'm going to get a bird's eye view on this. Not my personal emotional point of view, but a more bird's eye detached view. And then I can actually figure out solutions to my problems. And that's how it will be this year. It will be from doing that type of mindfulness exercises that will lead to less stress, solutions, and a better, clearer perspective. And we have got the Sun here again, which is saying it's going to be a lot to do with you gaining a clearer perspective on things that may actually be a bit more positive than it has been in the past with the Sun card. Yeah, so I feel like you'll be more optimistic this year as you let go in some way. Let go of the past. Or a past way of thinking, a habitual way of thinking, a pathology, paradigm. You know, the Eight of Swords is kind of like that. The Four of Swords kind of allows you to step back, do the King of Swords thing, and then move forward with the Six of Swords of solutions to your problem. So that's going to be your overall outcome for the year. It's actually mastering this King of Swords energy. Become the master of your thoughts and being solution orientated and optimistic, seeking clarity. So we've got no place like home at the base of the deck. So maybe you will, like I said, go back to your roots in some way, wherever it feels like home to you, wherever you feel seen and relaxed and free. That's where you need to be. That's what that's where you call home, where you feel you can be yourself totally, or express yourself fully, or express yourself in a way where you feel content. You know, I think it'll be going back to something. So we've got soulmates here, so that's a beautiful card. I think love and emotions have definitely kind of gotten. I think these people are able to tug on your heartstrings, and they are soulmates. So they have been brought into your life for you to learn this lesson. The only major arcana I think we have had are these major arcana at the base of the deck. The Sun card and the Hermit card, which both talk about enlightenment. But the point I was going to make is that you are learning lessons this year with the major arcana being here, especially it being the overall energy for the year. And the lessons will be around, I think, not beating yourself up when you can't say yes to someone, and knowing that love endures all, and also that there's some soulmates that you need to connect with this year. Again, with the Six of Cups here, we are looking at soulmates being your overall kind of advice for the year. Reconnecting with people that you love and that love you and that get you is going to be, I think, a great thing for you this year. And then we've got higher power. So, you know, your ancestors, angels, you know, the creator, him and herself are here with you at this time. So you are very secure. You may also be quite intuitive at this time as well, but I think naturally Scorpios are quite intuitive anyway. But you may be even more so. You might find that connecting to your intuition, how you feel, and as you talk more with spirit and connect more with spirit, and you read the signs, and you really start to develop your faith and strengthen the relationship with your higher power, you get a lot more insights and a lot more clarity, and just build a stronger connection to the joy of who you are. I feel there's an energy here of celebrating yourself as well, celebrating who you are as an individual and what you bring personally to this world as well, doing what you've been created and designed to do, in a sense, like following your destiny and your life path. I feel like this year you're saying, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start to make me a bit of more of a priority, and also accept help when it's given to you. And that could come from old friends. So we've got here new life. So yeah, it's beautiful. And then we've got between worlds. So it is a transitional period for you this year, where there is a new life here on the horizon. Again, I feel like maybe your children are getting bigger, or you're starting to come to realize that there's some sort of pastime that you love, career that you love, that you think you want to kind of get back into. I think for too long you've been maybe nurturing a product or putting something on the back burner, and now it's like, okay, it's time now for me to shine. It's time for me to not feel so confined and bound by my restrictions, but to move forward into this new life. So that's good as well. I believe as well the Saturn transit. I think Saturn's going from Capricorn into Aquarius, I think, this year. I think Capricorn's in your 4th house. Is Capricorn in your 4th house? No, it's not. It's Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius. So yeah, when Saturn moves into Aquarius, which I think is sometime during the year, I think you will see a restructure in your household. Most definitely. Okay. So that could be around your children. And your home life could be really pared back. So it may also be a good idea as well to manage your finances as well this year to prepare for the year after that, where there could be maybe some either more responsibilities at home, or you might decide to renovate or move, or for some reason there might be more restrictions at home, possibly to do with money. I'm just getting that. So it may be an idea to really invest your money wisely from now. Okay. Yeah, because Capricorn's currently Saturn's currently in Capricorn in your 3rd house, so it's more to do with communication. You could have learned a lot mentally over the past year as well, or last couple of years. Maybe there's been some hard lessons that you learned about children, your family, close family like cousins, brothers and sisters. But we've also got between worlds in the near future. So yeah, the outcome will be that you'll be transitioning into a more brighter, more colorful and robust, version of your life than you have now. So I think right now there's some limitations. Maybe it is Saturn, in Capricorn that's making you feel quite limited. Pluto's also in Capricorn at the moment, so that rules your sign. So that could be, I think you're moving out of that. I think both Capricorn and Pluto and Saturn are both moving into Aquarius this year, and that will be moving into your 4th house. So yeah, I feel that you will see that a bit more of a maybe more free kind of energy when it comes to Saturn and Pluto, even more so. Because right now Pluto being in Capricorn can be quite stifling for you as a Scorpio. You may feel like you're learning lots of harsh and hard lessons, and sorry, I keep stumbling over my words, forgive me guys. But yeah, it could be that whilst these planets were, especially Pluto, a lot of our lessons being learned, especially with the Hermit card being here, so I was going to say that. It's just talk about kind of growing up lessons and growing up and maturing. So yeah, I really see you coming from a boy to a man, or you're maturing in some way, here as well, I see. And I think the future looks bright. The future looks really bright. You've done all the hard work, whatever hard work it was. I think you've done a lot of it, and now you're moving into a brand new world. So I'm going to go ahead and read New Life. So it says here, birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. So you could very well feel this renewal and a breath of fresh air when Pluto goes into Aquarius as well. You might find it more happening then. However, Uranus is also in Taurus, so that's opposite your sun. So again, you could be having moments of this feeling of release, this feeling of unexpected newness that comes in as well. New ideas, shifts in your consciousness, especially how you deal with other people. So yeah. Okay, so it says here, when spring awakens, the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon on all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. So we did see dreams, maybe old dreams, maybe coming true now. All right, so all is well in your world and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Although your heart to feel, allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. I did say it's your time to shine, so that's come through its second time. So yeah, this is something to do with some old hobby or something that you like to do that you kind of put on the back burner. But now it's your time to shine. This is a time of good fortune. Okay. Okay, so the warning message or the protection message reads, you must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like the delicate new bud opening. It's okay to admit you may not know something. You are at the beginning of things and haven't yet hit your stride. So this could be where some of you are learning to do something to allow you to get into the career that you've always wanted to. So it says, be immersed in the newness of it all and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed the reading. My dear Scorpios, I love you. Have a fantastic year and I will speak to you very soon. Take care. All right, bye.